makers, Lisa here from Andrie Designs. Today I have a really quick little tutorial for you on making a double pull zipper. So I'm going to step you through both approaches for making a double pull zipper from a fixed length of zipper tape and also making a double pull zipper from a continuous length of zipper tape that you cut off the roll to the length you need for the pattern that you're making. So two different examples here, nice and quick and easy. Let's get started. To create a double pull zipper, you're going to need a zipper which is the right length as per the pattern instructions for the bag you are making. You're also going to need a second pull. So whether that is a loose zipper pull that has come in the packet with your zipper, or you've taken it off another zipper, or you have a second entire zipper which we're going to take the pull off. So regardless of which process you use, you're still going to need one zipper tape, which is long enough as per your pattern, a second pull, and I also like to use an awl, or you can use a prong or a small pair of pliers to help get the bottom and top stops off the zipper tape. So these little metal parts are literally there to stop the pulls coming off. However, to add a second pull on, obviously we need to take those off first. So once you have the pieces you require to create your double pull zipper, let's get started in assembling it together. So taking the zipper, that is the one that you're going to then attach to your bag. First, just open it slightly from the open end of the zipper and take the two metal stops off. The easiest way I find is to work from the wrong side of the zipper. I use an awl, and you just need to work the point of the awl under the flat part of the stop with a little bit of force, and it just lifts up and you can pull it off. So just pop that to the side and make sure that ends up in the rubbish bin, and repeat for the second one. So again, pushing the point under the flat part of the stop. So now we have no stops on the end of our zipper that we're going to use for our bag. From here you need to take your second pull. So for me, I'm using a pull that's already loose and I'm going to be feeding it on. However, if you didn't have a spare pull and you needed to take one from a second zipper, you can easily do that by removing the stops on the second zipper as well, just like we did for the first one, and literally taking the pull off the zipper. If you just pull it, it will come right off the end. So that is how you can grab a second pull from a second zipper. So I'm just going to put that to the side because I'm not going to be using that one. Working on the zipper that is going to be attached to your bag, you've already got one zipper on it, the one it came with. So as you'll see on the shape of the zipper, you have a flat part at the back, which is where the closed teeth come out of, and you have a curved part at the front of the zipper, which is where the open end of the zipper comes out of. So what we want to do when we feed a second pull on is we need to feed it on in the opposite direction, so that the two curved edges of the pull will be facing and the two flat edges will be away from each other. So taking your tails of your zipper, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your zipper pull is up the right way, so your tag is up on the top and you've got the curved edge facing towards you. Place one side of your zipper tape, and the zipper tape is right side up. Place one side into the side of the zipper and just pull it or push it through until you can start to feel there's a little bit more resistance or a little bit more friction. That is when you know the teeth are starting to go through, and we're just going to stop there and hold it in place. So just holding the pull and the tape in place. We're then going to grab the second side of our zipper and we're going to feed that side into the second side of the pull, and you'll see them both starting to come out the back. What you want to do here is make sure that the back edges or the raw edges of the zipper tape are lined up as close as possible together. So you don't want to start pulling them through when one here is longer than the other. We want them to be as level as possible, and all we're going to do from here simply is grab with our thumb and forefinger, grab the ends of the zipper tape nice and tight so that we keep them lined up and level with each other, and all you need to do is pull your zipper pull onto the teeth. Okay, it's really easy to do, so I'll just show you that again really quickly. You feed one side of the zipper tape into the pull, hold those two together, feed the second side of the zipper tape into the pull, and make sure that the tapes are level. If you can't pull the second side through any further, you can always pull this first side back a bit so that you can level them up before it starts to grip the teeth on the inside of the pull. Grab the ends of the tape firmly between your finger and thumb and wiggle the pull on. The way you know if your teeth are lined up correctly and in line with each other is if you have a look right at the beginning of the teeth. There should only be one tooth on one side past the tooth on the other. So they should be interlocking like this. If you have it like this, you'll know that the right hand side is longer than the left and it's going to sit a bit skewed on your bag. So you need to take the pull off and do it again to make sure that you only have one tooth on the outside before the tooth on the other side starts. And once you have your two pulls on, you have a double-sided zipper. Yes, it is that easy and that quick. So there you can move your zips right to the center. If need be, you can hand or machine stitch across the open end to close it up so that the pulls don't come off, and you can continue with whatever bag pattern you might have been making. So to create a double pull zipper from a continuous zipper tape, so that's where you buy it by the meter or by the yard and you need to chop off how much you require for the bag you're making. The process is very similar to using pre-made zippers, except it's just a little bit different in the way we work with the ends of the zipper tape. So starting first, cut off the length of zipper tape that you require as per the pattern you're making. And here I've got a beautiful black zipper tape with silver teeth, and I'm going to be popping silver pulls onto it. And this zipper is actually from Betty Box Pleat, which is an Australian hardware supplier, and I'll pop a link to her website in the description below for those interested, as she has lots of beautiful shiny bling. So make sure you pop over and have a look at her website. To start creating the double pull zipper, first you just need to open one end of the teeth. So to do that, all you need to do is simply pull them apart, and once you've started, it's really easy to pull the teeth apart. Working on the end that you've just opened, what I like to do is just trim off any threads or fibers that might have come apart and started fraying, just to tidy it up. And then I like to seal the ends with a lighter, or you can use fray check or a craft glue, just to stop them fraying any further while we work with the ends to get the pulls on. So I just do both sides just like that, and now they're a lot more reliable and durable. From here, all we're going to do is very much the process just like we did for the other one. So we're going to keep the zipper tape right side up. We're going to take one of our pulls and we're going to make sure it's also right side up, and the curved edge of the zipper is facing us and the flat edge of the zipper is facing away from us. Working on one side at a time, you're going to push the teeth of the zipper tape into the foot, and if you look down the back from the closed end of the pull, you'll see there's a little tiny metal prong pushing up, which is what locks the teeth in place. If you pull on the tab of the pull gently, it will lift that prong up and out of the way, and then you can push the zipper tape in just a little bit further so that it's locked in place and the pull is not going to come off. Once you've got that locked in place, holding those two together, grab the other side of your zipper tape and sit it in the front of the pull, and then again have a look down, lift, pull on the pull to lift the prong out of the way, the locking mechanism, and wiggle the teeth into the zipper. Can be a little bit fiddly and you kind of have to be a bit bossy with this one, but it is definitely achievable. If need be, like I'm having trouble getting that in, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the locking mechanism by pulling my tab away from the pull. And I'm just going to slide this side back just a little bit to see if that makes it any easier. Right, that's not going to work, so I'm going to take that side out completely and try and get this side in and see if it's going to go in at all, because it might just be this side of the tape. Okay, so it will go in, it's just being difficult, of course. So we'll get that one back in and hold that one in place, and then I'm going to do this side, which hopefully will play the game. I'm just going to lift up that locking mechanism and just sort of push it up from behind. Might pull this one back a little bit. Sometimes these come together really easily, and then other times they just seem to have a mind of their own and require a little bit of force, a little bit of persistence to get them on. So I think they're both in there. Yes, because if I pull the pull away and the zipper tape away from each other, they're not coming out. So they're both locked in place, so that's really good. So from here, all I'm going to do is simply from the curved open end of the zipper, I'm just going to push the teeth through. Hold them together and push them through. Once I get a little bit out the end, then I can grab that with my thumb and forefinger and pull. And we have one pull on our zipper. Don't worry about if the end is uneven, because we're going to fix that up when we put the second pull on. So for now, you've got one pull on, so we're just going to undo all the rest of the teeth and just going to move that pull towards the other end of the tape. So remember, when we have a double pull zipper, the two pulls need to be facing in the opposite direction. So if the curved edge of this pull is facing that way, we know that we need to feed this one on in the opposite direction, so the curved edge is facing this way. So working at the other end of your zipper tape, remember we've moved the pull all the way towards the end. First, we're just going to hold the two sides of the zipper tape fairly level with each other and trim off any threads, any unevenness as best as you can to make it tidier before we even try to put the pull on the end. So I'm just going to take this off because it's a bit wonky. And that looks pretty good. And then again, melt or glue the ends so that they don't fray when you're trying to add your pull on. Okay, so now the ends are ready. So again, we're going to take our pull, and if you look carefully, you can actually see that my zipper tapes, this side is what looks like one tooth longer than this side. So when I thread my pull on, I actually want to check that this side is one tooth longer once my pull is on, and that will hopefully mean my pulls sit really nice and flat towards each other and they're not skewed and curving the tape. So I'm going to take my pull, oops, start from one side, and I'm just going to push the end just in. I'm going to hold it in place. Push the second end in and give it a bit of a wiggle. Nope, I might start with this right hand side actually. I'm going to push that end in first. Just check that it's going to come through. There we go. There was a tooth in there that was being difficult. Now the second side, we feed that into the zip, into the pull. And usually it's a case of pulling one side of the tape back to push the other one forward and sort of evening them out until they sort of niche together in the pull. Once you think you've got them in place, you can start to try and push the tape into the pull, and it'll either go or it won't. It's pretty black and white. So I can see it coming out the other end. It looks like I've got two teeth on the outside of this side of the tape, but I have my pull on, so I'm going to pull it all the way down to this one, and then I'm going to see how we're looking for alignment. So that looks pretty good, but as I suspected, I actually am out of alignment. So if you look carefully, you'll see that my tape comes up and then veers to the right. So I know that I've actually got my teeth slightly out of alignment with each other. So I'm going to take my pull off and I'm going to do it again, and I'm only going to make sure I have one tooth outside on the end on the right this time instead of two as I currently have. So take that off, put this first side back in, put the second side in. And there we go, we've just got the one. So it does take a bit of patience. Sometimes it goes on a lot faster than this. Sometimes it can be really fiddly like I've just had, but I've only now got one tooth either side, which means that when I put my pulls together, my zipper tape sits nice and straight. It's not curving to the right like it was before. So now, even though I cut this off a continuous length of zipper tape, I have just made a double pull zipper with two beautiful, funky, I love these, zipper pulls, and this is ready to go in my next bag. So that is the other way to make a double pull zipper, and that's all there is to it. It's really that straightforward. You just need to have, at times, a little bit of patience and a little bit of persistence. And that's all there is to it. You now have an awesome little double pull zipper, perfect and ready for your next bag. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and I hope you've learnt a few little tips and tricks. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to comment below or catch me via my website, which is www.andriedesigns.com. Until next time, happy sewing!